Hi, and welcome to 10 Essential Practices for Healthy Mercy Ministry. I'm saying mercy ministry, but really these practices are good for anyone working with traumatized, marginalized, or at-risk people groups. This might be individuals experiencing homelessness, domestic violence victims, refugees, individuals in recovery, or any number of ministries that works with people needing need and assistance. This video is geared towards behavioral health service providers, volunteers in direct care roles, and administrators. This video is also great if you're looking to start up a mercy ministry or if you're trying to fix an unhealthy one. Healthy ministry is an important topic because serving vulnerable populations is a sacred privilege and must be done with prayer and intention. Otherwise, we may end up doing more harm than good. Here's an important quote for you to remember. Bad help doesn't have to be malicious to be detrimental. More damage and church wounds are caused by ignorance and short-sightedness than outright neglect and abuse by well-meaning but ill-prepared churches, ministries, nonprofits, and individuals. So cheers to you for taking the time to understand how to help well. By the end of this video, you will not know all you need to know about each of these practices, but you will have some terms you can Google and get you started. I've created a resource to help you process the information in this video and help you to see which practices you should work on first. It's called the 10 Essential Practices of Healthy Mercy Ministry Workbook, and it can be used for personal use, as for your own personal ministry, at work or in life, or it can be used as an organization. And with that, let's get into it. Here are the 10 essential practices that you can implement to make sure that the help that you are giving is healthy and actually helpful. These practices improve efficacy, reduce burnout, and most importantly, better represent the gospel to those you are serving. And number 1, the gospel. This is where we have to get started. So whether you're feeding people on the street, giving away clothes, or fixing houses, you will benefit from being grounded in the gospel. You need to know why the gospel compels you to serve and how it shows you how to serve. Some ministries are more direct in how they declare the gospel. Others let their actions speak louder than words. Wherever you are, that's fine. But all healthy ministries and individuals in ministry are intentional and prayerful in why and how they do what they do for the sake of the gospel. Number 2, the sanctification process. This is also known as just having a plan for grace and accountability. Ministries also vary in the grace that they offer and how strictly they hold individuals accountable for their actions. Although some offer more grace and others offer more accountability, all healthy ministries offer both and have a plan for when to give each. Sanctification is the process of growing in Christ-likeness. It is how we are made new through falling short, being held accountable for our behavior, receiving grace, and changing our behavior in light of the process. Number 3, the biopsychosocial spiritual model. Gone are the days of Freud and other controversial psychoanalysts and their unproven theories. People are no longer asking the questions, is it nature or nurture that makes a man? Research has proven that human behavior is the result of a complicated intermingling of biological, psychological, social, and spiritual factors. Science is just now actually catching up to what the Bible teaches, that all of creation was affected by the curse that came after the fall. Understanding these factors and how they are tied to the fall helps us serve more effectively and with greater empathy. Number 4, trauma-informed care. This is a really important one. So for the definition is that trauma-informed care understands and considers the pervasive nature of trauma and promotes environments of healing and recovery rather than practices and services that may inadvertently re-traumatize. Basically, anybody in any type of mercy ministry, poverty ministry, anything like that needs to have some understanding of trauma-informed care. Without trauma, personal or in society, there would be no need for most of the mercy ministry that is done today in developed countries. Trauma affects everything, and for that reason, all individuals that work in mercy ministry can apply trauma-informed care principles. Number 5, healing-centered community. Healing-centered community takes trauma-informed care one step further by focusing on resiliency and change and growth as the path to healing from trauma and coming out stronger on the other side. Healing-centered communities are strength-based and offer both nurture and challenge. Number 6, the sanctuary model. The sanctuary model takes trauma-informed care to a different level, focusing primarily on safety. The goal of the sanctuary model is to teach individuals and organizations the necessary skills for creating and sustaining nonviolent lives and nonviolent systems, and to keep believing in the unexplored possibilities of peace and well-being for all of humanity. Number 7, cognitive theory. You may also hear this called just CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, but it's just a theory also and a way of thinking. So cognitive theory ties a person's behaviors and feelings to their thoughts, meaning that if you change the way you think, you will act and feel differently. While this theory alone does not explain all of human behavior, it is a big enough piece of the puzzle to be universally important to all mercy ministry. It is also in line with many commands in the Bible to guard your thoughts and think about what is good. Number 8, motivational interviewing. This is an important practice with a funny name that does very little to describe what it is actually about. Motivational interviewing, or MI, is actually a way of talking with people to meet them where they are at and help them build the internal motivation to make healthy changes. Number 9, restorative discipline. Restorative discipline or restorative justice are practices used in the criminal justice system in schools as an alternative to punitive systems. The focus is on rehabilitation and healing for both the perpetrators and the victims. Although based on some native practices, it closely mirrors the type of reconciliation spoken of in the Bible. Restorative practices simultaneously bring grace and accountability to people that have done wrong, broken the rules, and even hurt others. And the last one, number 10, the easiest probably to understand if you're new to all of this lingo, and that is clear mission, vision, and values. Writing a mission statement or a vision can come across as a cliche thing to do, but that is not the case. This is a very important practice that you should not overlook. Taking an inventory of your values and crafted a well thought out mission and vision is like building a rudder and a guardrail for your ship and setting your destination. Without these things, you may find yourself afloat, going a bunch of different directions, but never getting where you want to go. And that brings us to the end of this video. I just want to let you know that this is a joint production between Hope Junkie and the Center for Trauma-Informed Ministry. The Center for Trauma-Informed Ministry is just one really specific part of Hope Junkie and all that we are doing here at this channel. And I just want to leave you with this last thought. Bad ministry doesn't have to be malicious to be detrimental. And that's why we're making these videos. I want to get as much good information out there to as many people as possible so that we can help in a way that is actually helpful. Okay, so this is what I promised you at the beginning. If you'd like to get our workbook for free, you can do so using this code at hopejunkie.org. The link will be in the description. This is a quick, easy workbook you can go through. All it is a series of questions that will help explain each of these practices a little bit better and ask you some questions so you can tell whether or not you do have them implemented in your organization or in your own personal ministry. Right now, this code will get you any of our resources on the website for free, and this is kind of our moving in code. So this code will be active until we have an official launch date. Things are a little rough over at the website, and they will continue to be throughout this first year as we get everything loaded up, so just be patient. But by all means, you can get over, use this code, and get yourself a free workbook. And I really would like you to do that. Check it out, and I'd love to hear in the comment section what you think about the workbook, how it has helped you, and any questions that you have had because of going through the questions in that workbook. And finally, which practice would you like to see a video on first? So I plan on using this as the starter series for this channel. I'm going to go through each one of these practices in detail, explaining how it in particular works in faith-based ministries or in faith-based people that are working in secular ministries, and how we can better help people by implementing these practices. Thank you, and I hope to see you again soon.